Hi. We're going to address a couple of the common questions that I get, how I afford my pets, and how I find time to take care of my pets. The short answer is I'm a pet sitter.
I stepped in poop.
Okay, so that's kind of accurate. It's also a lot of fun. There is a lot of getting to play with the dogs. I feel so lucky every single day that I have been able to make something I love my actual career. I'd see some other pet-related channels talk about this company. Oh, I am just ecstatic that Rover reached out to me. This video is sponsored by Rover. If you don't know, Rover is a website and an app that connects pet owners with pet caregivers. So I was introduced to Rover 2 years ago. I moved states and so left my job at the vet clinic. And I knew that I really wanted to be able to work at home. Being here with all of my animals, being able to supervise them and take care of every possible need that would arise throughout the day, that's just what I wanted to do. Basically, Rover really simplified this process for me. So in addition to really promoting you, they put your profile in front of the people that need your service. The number of clients they bring you, the amount of advertising they do, all of that isn't something you can get on your own, or at least most people can't get on their own. Their customer service has always been very helpful anytime I've needed them. Quite frankly, I could never have made it work without Rover's help. They let you choose what kind of services you'd like to offer. I wasn't interested in sitting in other people's homes. I didn't want to have to leave my own home, and you make a lot more money if you watch dogs at your own house. So that's what I opted for. I don't offer any sitting outside of my home. And then you can specify things like if you have size restrictions. So it's very versatile. You can base it entirely on your circumstances. You can also make your own schedule. So if you know you're gonna be gone a weekend, block yourself off. You set your own rate. It's wise to look in your area, kind of get a feel for what other sitters in your area are charging, stay competitive, comparable. So Rover lets you do all of that. They walk you through it. They are 100% how I got into this. If you're unsure, setting up a profile is super easy. It's available to people in the United States, Canada, and the UK currently. Maybe next weekend you're at home and feeling a little bit bored and end up making a new dog friend and some money. And if you have animals, even if you don't have any foreseeable trips, I have a lot of people reach out to me on Rover just wanting to set up a meet and greet in case something unforeseeable comes up and they need a last minute dog sitter, or they end up planning a vacation in the next year. They know that they have a place to send their dog that is safe and with a person that they trust. So I think on either end, whether you want to become a sitter or you have animals that may someday need sitting, just spend a few minutes, download the app or get on the website and set up a profile. It really is a priceless service for pet lovers. I'm going to share with you how I get into it, some of the tips and tricks I've learned along the way in the past 2 years. Are going to want a lot of cleaning supplies. My arsenal of cleaning supplies, and I try to keep this set in pretty much every room. The cleaning wasn't a joke. So, some things you're gonna wanna be sure of. I keep all of my couches covered. Blankets, I use drop cloths, anything like that. Because the dogs are in a new home, they're not familiar, a lot of times they're a little nervous, there's a lot of other dog smells, and so it's not uncommon for them to have accidents or stress chew things or whatever. Just dog puppy proofing your house in general. A lot of spare towels. What my dryer looks like basically every day. Towels on the top waiting to be folded, towels in the dryer, probably towels in the washer, towels hanging up to dry. And all of these cupboards are filled with towels. This is probably an excessive amount of towels and blankets, but can never have too many if you have a house filled with dogs. Accidents happen and muddy feet happen and really drooly dogs, and you're gonna want a lot of towels. We're gonna be doing a couple loads of dog-related laundry a week. I would be going through a roll of paper towels a day if I opted for that. So I like to use towels I can wash and reuse. I always ask owners to bring their dogs food to avoid upset stomachs. Keep them on the diet that they're used to. Don't give them any kind of treats, anything foreign, no table scraps. At this point, I have stocked up on all kinds of dog bowls. There are water bowls and kid pools in pretty much every space possible, but I also keep a lot of spare food bowls. If the owners don't bring them, I've got them. Same with leashes, same with dog beds. I have lots of extras. They can just show up with the dog and a bag of food, and they know that they're still taken care of. They have everything they need. Here's just one of my many stacks of spare dog bowls. Bag of spare leashes and collars in every shape and size. If you were to walk through my house, I pretty much keep baby gates basically everywhere. Even behind some closed doors so that you can open it up and you don't have to worry about dogs rushing out. There's a baby gate. It also increases my fitness because I have to step over a bunch of baby gates. An example, here on the front porch, you have the front door, which is probably secure, but just in case. There's also the wraparound front porch and a locking gate. And you will notice there is wire fencing, just in case a small dog decides they want to escape through the front door, see that this is locked, and try to jump through the slats. I would like to mention, only because I personally didn't realize this, check the laws of your state, obviously, and if you're renting, check with the landowner and all of that, because for instance in Georgia, it's actually illegal to offer any kind of pet care, pet services without having a license, which means you're inspected by the state and they have said, yes, it is a safe facility and you're doing a good job and they approve of you offering that care. Being now 2 years into this, again, I've learned a lot along the way. Thankfully, it's been pretty smooth, and now I have a lot of repeat clients and regulars. So essentially I have a whole bunch of dogs that I know really well and have come to love and get to see on a regular basis. And I know that most of them now know each other, and so it's like a constant dog party in my house. My own dogs love it. It's fantastic. They have constant playmates. Of course, as I mentioned, I have a lot of dogs that are now familiar with each other and can play together. That was something that's always done really slowly and with a lot of supervision. Honestly, for the first probably 6 months to a year, I refused to keep any dogs together because I was too paranoid. My worst nightmare is having to call an owner and tell them that something has happened to their dog. Knock on wood, never had to. So I just kept everybody apart to be safe, and that is definitely an option and a great thing to do. I've gotten to know a lot of these dogs well enough, and also just over the past couple of years gotten better at really reading dogs and better at introducing dogs. So I do let dogs play together now. I do keep dogs together now, but it's with a lot of caution and patience. In-home daycare and dog boarders are a much better option. I say that with a lot of caution because I have worked in more of a kennel boarding situation, and while the dogs are usually healthy and safe, they are not necessarily happy and getting adequate amounts of attention and supervision and playtime and things like that. You really can't beat being able to mimic their normal daily life. And that's exactly what I try to do. You tell me their routine, and the beauty of this situation and the reason why a lot of people end up selecting this kind of situation is because it's gonna feel the most like home. Now again, you can do this on a much smaller scale. Watch a dog here and there on a weekend. It's still extra money for doing something that is easy and fun. So if you would like to see what Rover's all about and potentially get started making some extra money for hanging out with dogs, I will have the link below.